Hi there. This is a video about how you can take some simple steps to speed SystmOne up. Some things are unique to users, some things unique to particular PCs, and some are organization-wide. I've done a separate video elsewhere about user preferences, so we'll focus on the organization-wide stuff here. Um, our systems are complex. They couldn't do what they do without that complexity, but some of those things can slow some things down. So there are some things that you can turn off, and I'll show you some of those things now. So let's start with views. So you go to View Maintenance. To be honest, I always use this box down here to find things because I can rarely remember where everything is found otherwise. So Ardens, if you use Ardens, I've got loads. Really helpfully, they say that if it starts with Ardens Limited, you can turn it off. That can speed up record retrieval because I believe when the record's retrieved, these views get picked up in the background. So it will be sort of interrogating the record for these views. We've done something similar. So ours start with IHS. You probably know us as well, the Innovate, but IHS that's our legal name. So all of these that start with IHS should be fine to turn off. If there are any that aren't, then we will relabel them to make that clear. You might have some old ones, like these are our old versions, so all of these could be turned off. I'm not going to do all of them now. I might, in fact, train our bots to do it when I think about how much time is going to be involved. And then system-wide, probably all of those you can turn off as well. And there might be other local ones that you don't need. A view being turned off doesn't mean it won't work in a letter or a template. It just means it's not going to be available on the clinical tree. So loads there that you can turn off that will speed some things up, which brings me to the clinical tree. So organization preferences, I know where that one is. Clinical policy, tree config. Let's have a look at ours. This probably needs, forgot I can't amend it on this unit. I'll just copy it for now. So again, views on here can be really useful. So for example, we've used our prescribing overview in the tree, but they can slow some things down. And some of these we're no longer using, so we've removed some of them now. The thing that really slows it down, apparently, is templates. And often, perhaps, there are all sorts of old templates in the tree. Again, when you're retrieving the record, what SystmOne's then doing is finding every instance of that template in the record. People often have old templates that aren't in use anymore as well. So I'd recommend checking and amending your clinical tree. Up to you how you structure it, obviously. But yeah, if there's any templates or views that you really don't need in there, think about removing them. Next would be patient status alerts. Now we use these loads because they're a really great way of displaying information, and you can make them do all sorts of funky things. But that does mean our system creates a lot of them. Now, if you think, for example, you're definitely not using pathology and you're not planning to use it, then you could go through these folders and turn them off. So all of our IHS pathology ones, similarly got our prescribing ones joined to get linked together. If you're using it or you plan to use it soon, then I wouldn't recommend turning that all off. Questionnaires to complete, I would definitely leave, unless, again, a particular questionnaires you're not using, you don't want to use. Bear in mind that we can't turn these off for you. We don't know if you've turned them off. So just be mindful that if you turn them off and then 6 months later say we want to start using the pathology module, half our results for GPs to file, you'll need to then turn them back on again. You may have various local ones. You can look at them via availability and see if there's any that you've got on there that you shouldn't be using. Again, if you've got Ardens, they recommend that you can turn off all of the system-wide status alerts. Don't think that's changed. You can also order them by enabled and see, where are we, all the ones that are enabled. So all of those can be turned off. These get, certainly the ones that appear under the demographics bar, get evaluated on record retrieval. To be honest, I'm not completely sure about the others because there are some that don't appear, and with most of the ones we use are like this. They don't appear on the home screen or on the demographics. but it may well slow it down. Again, if you use Ardens and you're using our recall system, you could turn off all of the alerts in these 3 folders, in the booking tests, the pre-appointment annual bloods and others, because again, you won't be using those anymore. So I can turn all that off. There are a few others you might want to think about removing. Oh, get rid of that for now. Long-term condition review. Ardens have got one. We've turned it off and then just done a copy one that points to the recall overview. So I points to the right template. Just helps with consistency. You may still want to make it available. Obviously, that's up to you. I think there's also one about LTC reminder that they've done. Yeah, this one here. Again, you might want to turn that off because our system will do the whole. It will display on the home screen whether they are annual review read and so need booking in. Protocols, another big area. Again, you may have all sorts of historic things that are kicking around that can be deleted. You can look at it locally. You can just turn them off rather than delete them. Some of them you definitely may want to keep. I need to get rid of those. Again, if you're using our systems, but you're definitely not planning to use, say, pathology anytime soon, you could take this lot out, turn that lot off. Quite a few of them are automated. We've got them set so they don't trigger for you if you're not using our system, that part of the system, or if you don't want it to do that. But it may still slow things down a bit, so perhaps worth doing that. And this automation section particularly, again, if you've not got any automation enabled for your practice, which if you're just using recall is probably the case, you could turn them off, or certainly you could turn off the pathology ones. The med review questionnaires, obviously part of the prescribing module. These numbers down here and other things, sort of the more work you've got there, the slower things will be. The other thing that's worth doing on an individual PC basis is if we go to TPP, which is under Windows Apps TPP, it's worth clearing out these temp files regularly. Again, apparently that's something that helps, and also leaving SystmOne logged in for long periods tends to slow it down. Because I'm logging on and off to loads of different practices, these files really build up for me. Doesn't need doing frequently, but I think it's another thing that can help. I think those are the main things. I hope that video is helpful, and we'll try and upload as well the one we've done on user preferences, which can stop lots of pop-ups and things that slow down on an individual basis. Thanks.